Imagine your favorite place in the world is about to be torn down. That's what Chelsea fans are facing right now. Stamford Bridge is always packed to the max on match days, but the 148-year-old stadium is no longer delivering the match day experience Chelsea supporters deserve.
Chelsea are pushing for a massive £1.5 billion bridge.
Todd Bowley and his consortium made a pledge that when they took over to rebuild the stadium, to redevelop it.
Stamford Bridge might be replaced by a brand new stadium, and not everyone's happy about it. Some fans are furious, others are excited. The debate is tearing West London apart. And here's the crazy part. This isn't just about bricks and mortar, it's about Chelsea's entire future. So, what's really going on?
What's the next business decision you feel like you need to make with your partners at CFC?
Well, long term, what we're working on is what's the stadium plan going to be? You know, I think we've got, the really unique spot in London. So many people can walk to come to a Chelsea game, and, we're basically in the heart of West London. But, we only have a stadium that seats about 40,000. And to be able to upgrade the quality of the stadium and the size of the stadium is really a priority for us over the course of the next decade.
Right.
Are we witnessing the end of an era or the beginning of something even bigger? In the next few minutes, we're diving deep into the decision that could change Chelsea forever. Let's face it, Stamford Bridge is the problem. Sure, it's got history, iconic moments, memories that last a lifetime, but here's the harsh truth. It's holding Chelsea back. The 41,000 seats aren't enough for a club of this size. The stadium is too small, too cramped, and too outdated to match Chelsea's ambitions. Meanwhile, clubs like Tottenham and Real Madrid are moving into state-of-the-art arenas that make Stamford Bridge look like a relic. But that is not strange if you know where Chelsea is coming from. Chelsea Football Club, founded in 1905, is one of England's most iconic football teams, and its history is tightly intertwined with Stamford Bridge, the stadium that has been its home from the very beginning. Stamford Bridge was built in 1877, originally intended as an athletics venue. It wasn't until businessman Gus Mears purchased the grounds in 1904 with the aim of turning it into a football stadium that Chelsea FC was born. From its early days, Stamford Bridge was one of the largest stadiums in England, with a capacity of 100,000 in the early 20th century, drawing huge crowds even in its infancy. Throughout the decades, Chelsea FC and Stamford Bridge have seen their share of highs and lows. The club won its first major trophy, the First Division title, in 1955, but struggled for consistency in the following decades. Stamford Bridge itself became a symbol of those struggles. In the 1970s and 1980s, financial difficulties nearly led to the club losing the stadium, with the land around it being sold to developers. In the 1990s, the club began modernizing Stamford Bridge, converting it into an all-seater stadium while keeping its historic identity. With Roman Abramovich's takeover in 2003, the club entered a new era of success, winning multiple Premier League titles and becoming a global football powerhouse. Stamford Bridge remains a fortress for Chelsea, where they've enjoyed some of their most memorable victories, including Premier League triumphs and their first Champions League win in 2012. Chelsea is at a crossroads. Do they stick with the past, or do they go all in on the future? For the fans, Stamford Bridge is sacred. It's the place where Chelsea became champions, where Frank Lampard and Mr. Drogba created magic. A place full of memories, triumphs, and heartbreaks. So when fans hear the words "new stadium," they don't just see progress, they see the end of something special. The fear, losing the soul of Chelsea Football Club. Moving to a shiny new stadium might look good on paper, but will it ever feel like home? The emotional cost is huge. Is it worth it? Here's the truth. Stamford Bridge can't keep up with Chelsea's goals. The club is looking for a modern, multi-purpose venue, and renovating the bridge might not be enough. With train lines, protected buildings, and the lack of space around the stadium, expanding Stamford Bridge would be an engineering nightmare. Meanwhile, clubs like Tottenham are making millions from their high-tech stadiums. Chelsea's rivals are evolving, and if Chelsea doesn't act fast, they could be left behind. That's why some people are pushing for a brand new billion-pound stadium. So what's the plan? Right now, Chelsea has 3 bold ideas and a wild card on the table, and each one could change the club forever. First, they could renovate Stamford Bridge. We're talking retractable roofs and a retractable field, high-tech features, and a bigger seating capacity. But with all the challenges of West London's cramped urban landscape, this might just be wishful thinking. Second, they could build a brand new stadium at a different location, starting from scratch. Imagine a 60,000-seat colossus, designed to rival the best stadiums in the world. But would it ever feel like home? The third option there is to share the stadium with Fulham. It would be a 120,000-seat mega stadium. It sounds controversial, and it is. While shared stadiums like Milan's San Siro have proven successful, club loyalties run deep in London. Could Chelsea fans ever embrace sharing their home with another club? There are undeniable benefits: reduced construction and operational costs for both clubs. A shared stadium could address the space constraints that have long hindered Chelsea's expansion plans, but the emotional cost might be too high for Chelsea's passionate supporters. And then we have the wild card, a floating stadium on the Thames. Yes, you heard that right, a floating stadium. Imagine a 60,000-seat colossus, not anchored to London's limited real estate, but resting on the waters of the Thames. It might sound like something out of a fantasy, but floating structures are becoming more common worldwide, from hotels in Dubai to entire neighborhoods in Amsterdam. It's ambitious, it's futuristic, but is it realistic? Whatever Chelsea decides, it's going to define the club's future for generations. Renovating Stamford Bridge could preserve the club's heritage, but it comes with massive challenges. A new stadium could push Chelsea into the future, but at what cost to the club's identity? The fans are divided. The new owners have a vision. And the billion-pound question remains: can Chelsea stay true to its roots while stepping into the future? This isn't just about a stadium. It's about the future of Chelsea Football Club. So, what do you think? Should Chelsea stay at Stamford Bridge and try to modernize? Or should they take the leap and build a brand new stadium? Let us know in the comments below. Because whether it's blue skies or floating stadiums, the future of Chelsea is in the balance. And Stamford Bridge will never be the same.